Alright, so I actually have my suspicions on the sheriff, but still, I'm going to do all these objectives, assuming I can do all of them, assuming I have the ability, the capability to do them all. Alright, first things first. Let's clear the objective for Lian. Return to the guild house and speak to Lian. Take care, Gramps. Who is whistling? Go upstairs. What's upstairs? Stay away. Who is this? Wait, he's wearing a mask? Is he the outlaw? Really? Upon seeing me, the girl tossed her book away and made a few hesitant steps towards the exit. She was frightened. Yes, the girl is the outlaw, so it's a she, not a he. Alright. Outlaw says, stay away, get lost. Don't come any closer. I stopped. I didn't want to exacerbate the situation. The outlaw gave me an appraising look. Outlaw says, the sheriff sent you, right? Sensory celebrity. Convince her that he did not. Wowie Popo says, what? Of course not. He wanted something from me, so I nodded along to get him off my back. What an obnoxious man. The outlaw's face relaxed. That's good, but I'm still not talking to you. Say that you want to help. Wowie Popo says, trust me, I'm here to help you. Outlaw says, no, I don't believe you. Scalpel, gain her trust. Wowie Popo says, be smart and trust me. I'm a doctor. I help people every day and I want to help you too. Outlaw says, oh, a doctor. The last time I saw a doctor, he was cutting my umbilical cord. The girl laughed. Oh, okay. Wowie Popo says, I convinced her to listen to me. Now I had to get her to trust me. Convince her by being subtle. Wawipopo says, I'm afraid the sheriff won't let you off the hook. Sensory surgeon offer medical assistance. Wow, I was lucky. So far, I have the required profession to choose these special options. Wawipopo says, I saw how you walk and the movement you made to throw that book. Neurological issues, sensory processing disorder. I can help with that. Outlaw says, I truly want to believe you. Sensory celebrity, brag about your connections. Wawipopo says, stick with me and you'll be fine, 'cause you know, my friends are your friends, and I've got a lot of friends with a lot of clout. Outlaw says, oh, I didn't know you were a celebrity. So embarrassing. The outlaw looked at me like a dog that used to be beaten, but decided to trust their new owner anyway. Ask about the sheriff. Wawipopo says, tell me, what do you know about the sheriff? Outlaw says, he's a cunt for one. He has a pair of goons too. Ak. Is it Ak or Aki? Aki, usually watching us at the farm, and Mad Dog, usually watching the sheriff's ass. I have met with this Aki guy. His full name is Aki Thompson. Ask who she's working with. Wawipopo says, who are you working with? Outlaw says, actually no one, I'm alone, all alone. Really? You don't have any partners? I don't, I swear. The sheriff said to meet him at the saloon at sundown. I still had plenty of time. I could either pass the time at the saloon or continue my investigation. Have her tell you about herself. Wawipopo says, can you tell me something about yourself? Outlaw says, not much to tell, although I did recently give my supervisors the slip. I'm just sorry I didn't get to see that asshole Aki's face. Wait, don't tell me, so she used to roll with the Orange Folk group? Did she used to work in the farms before she became the outlaw? Outlaw continues, my dream is to visit all in-game locations. There's a snag. I can't leave without a ticket for the Midnight Express. It arrives this evening. Ah, one of the workers in the farms has a Midnight Express train. Offer the outlaw the ticket. Wawipopo says, I can get you a ticket for the Midnight Express. What do you think of that? Outlaw says, what do I think? That's all I've ever dreamed of. Do it, please. All right. So I have a question for myself actually. I'm just thinking out loud. If I speak to Leanne, can I still speak to the sheriff? And if I speak to the sheriff, can I still speak to Leanne? Oh, meet the sheriff at sundown. Or I can continue with the investigation, right? Alright, first let me speak to Lian. The outlaw smiled hesitantly. Speak, then ask. Okay, judging from my conversation with her, I assume she used to be part of the Orange Folk group, but somehow she broke free. Is that why? Is that why she became an outlaw? I don't know. You know what? I think the sheriff is a cheater. I think maybe. Alright, I forgot who said this. Was it Bob Zappa? I don't remember who said this, but someone in the game told me that the sheriff might be using a cheat for fast reflexes or for a fast draw. I'm not sure. Was it Bob Zappa who told me that? Because Bob Zappa is the one who told me about the real identity of the sheriff and Lian. Maybe it was Bob Zappa. I don't remember. Alright, I've made up my mind, but I'm still going to take this step by step. The sheriff is the cheater, the outlaw is a victim, and Lian is a naive optimist with a will to change the world. Wait, Nanette's not at work. I thought Bob Zappa told me that Lian is the owner or the leader of the Nanette Foundation, who deals in child protection. Oh, okay. The the deduction choices change. No, she's not cynical. I don't know if she's a mother, but maybe she's a naive optimist. Alright. I'm having a problem with my chair right now. Hold on. Lian was absorbed in a book, at least she seemed to be. The woman slowly looked up at me. Oh, it's you. Extort coins? Why would I want to do that? I need good relations with her. Ask what she knows about the outlaw. Wawi Popo says, have you heard anything about a player called the Outlaw? Lian says, that girl upstairs, I don't know her. I think she's new, she's strange. She just sits there and reads books. Have you seen her talk to anyone? Besides you? No, nobody came to see her. Report what you discovered about the sheriff. Wawi Popo says about the sheriff. He works for a foundation. Wawi Popo says he works for the Nanette Foundation under the pseudonym Mr. Lebski. He runs Nanette's Gardens, an activation program for poor kids. Yeah, and Lian is Nanette, right? I think that's what Bob Zappa told me when he contacted me earlier. Lian's eyes and mouth went wide. For a good while she seemed to have trouble catching her breath. But how? I am Nanette. I'm the head of the foundation. I had no idea that Mr. Lebski was the sheriff. He never said a word. Inquire about Mr. Lebski. Wawi Popo says, tell me everything you know about Mr. Lebski. Lian says, I've never seen him in person. We met in the game. He offered to help me with Nanette's Gardens, and we struck a deal through Viper. The program was a burden on our budget. Mr. Lebski came up with the idea to auction items from loot boxes that spawn when you grow pumpkins. I think I know where this is going. Like I said in my previous stream, I think Mr. Lebski is using the children from Nanette's Gardens to farm items and coins in the game. Maybe some of the profits are used to fund the foundation, but I'm sure the majority of what he earned through these farmers goes directly to his own pocket, I think. Lian continues, I actually can't say a bad word about him. He made the garden self-sufficient. The kids from the program have decent equipment, supplements, supervisors. Although I have to say that I'm not sure about anything anymore. Thank you for your help. Do you have any other questions? If not, I'll be going back to the foundation. Ask if she knows anything about the orange folk. What do you know about the orange folk? Lian says, nothing, except the fact that they work on public farms and everyone thinks they are weirdos, but how is that connected to the case? Oh, now I understand. If Mr. Lebski is the sheriff, then these people might be my kids from Nanette's Gardens. Oh my god, yep, that's what I was thinking. Thank you for your help. Do you have any other questions? If not, I'll be going back to the foundation. Ask what she does in the game. Tell me the truth. What do you really do in harvest time? Lian says, nothing wrong. I'm looking for a sponsor that could support my foundation. I need money, you see. I'm running a children's cancer hospital. About the sheriff, well, he seemed rich. That's why he caught my attention. Thank you for your help. I'll have to go back to the Foundation now. Goodbye. I see. Yep. The sheriff is a cheater, the outlaw is a victim, and Lian is a naive optimist. Okay, but there are still some datas I don't have. Maybe I should continue my investigation, right? Oh yeah, give the outlaw a ticket for the Midnight Express. One of the farmers has it. I forgot his name. Let's go to him now. Good morning. It's good to see you. How are things in High Rock? Sorry, I don't know anything. I'm trying to stay away from other players for now. Bye. Enjoy the game, partner. Hello again. Ask about the outlaw. Wabi Popo says, I'm looking for information about the outlaw. I heard that player was here recently. Fruity Betty says, oh, that new character. Leveled up real quick and hold themselves up somewhere. I'm afraid they might be another fraud. Another fraud? Do you think the outlaw is working with someone? Is there some kind of gang here? Hard to say. We had some trouble with this guy Black Rook. He peddled illegal items and swindled people. The admins banned him at the sheriff's request. It was funny she said that, since it was Betty who took over Black Rook's business. Ah. Make a comment. Wawi Popo says, and now you've taken over his business. Fruity Betty says, that's true, but I'm honest. To my clients, I mean. Betty smiled radiantly. Okay, is the protagonist suspecting that Fruity Betty is working together with the sheriff to ban Black Rook so Fruity Betty can take over Black Rook's business? Ask about the sheriff. Wabi Popo says, what do you think about the sheriff, Betty? Fruity Betty says, what everyone in High Rock does. He's a solid and helpful player. I suppose you don't have an opinion yet? You're still new around here. Admit that the sheriff is alright. I think he's alright. Fruity Betty laughed. He is, and many High Rock inhabitants will confirm that. Ask what she does in Realium. Could you tell me something about your life in Realium? Fruity Betty says, sure, it's not a secret. I work for the Ministry of Internal Affairs. I organize new holidays. Are you saying that you are at work right now? You're on a couch somewhere in the ministry? That's right, sweetheart. We've got a lot of free time here. Currently, we are working on Neighbors' Day. What? A holiday about neighbors? Neighbors' Day sounds interesting. We're talking Realium, not some in-game event, right? Yes, Realium needs holidays and events just as much as games do. This event is supposed to counteract the most common cause of depression in free Europe, loneliness. Free Europe? So Europe was not free before? Fruity Betty continues. People will go out to parking lots and squares carrying treats. Then the hosts will initiate conversations with simple icebreakers. Praise the initiative. That's a really good idea. I'd like to get to know my neighbors myself. I don't think it's a good idea. I'm just trying to get on her good side. Hopefully. Fruity Betty says, Really? I think it's idiotic. Oh, I answered wrong. Fruity Betty says, Really? I think it's idiotic. But the office pays us to come up with this stuff and I can play Harvest Time in the meantime. Dream job, yeah? Say the secret password. Show me your wares. Betty winked at me knowingly. I also have a Midnight Express ticket. For friends and regulars only, 20,000. What the heck is expensive? Thanks, but I can't afford it. Hold on, sweetheart. Betty leaned over and looked at me conspiratorially. You asked about that player. I know that Black Rook and the Outlaw were doing shady business together, but you didn't hear that from me. Betty winked at me and started arranging her wares. Millie waved at me. Howdy, cowboy. Share your insights on horses. Millie, I was watching horses in Harvest Time, and I noticed a few interesting things. Horses here like it when you pet their necks. They sleep while standing, and they like to chew when there's nothing in their mouths. Millie Mo says, Gosh, that's all true. You really do like horses and know a lot about them. Respect, mad respect, cowboy. Ask about suspicious events. Millie, have you noticed anything suspicious in town recently? Millie made another awkward hand gesture. A new player talked to me not too long ago, Outlaw. It was odd, scared me a little. She wanted to hustle a horse out of me to escape from High Rock. She didn't understand that my pretzel is a show horse. He's no fleet. She was upset and got me upset too. I thought that Black Rook sent her after me. Alright, one more data for the Outlaw. Inquire about the Outlaw. This female player with the nick Outlaw wanted to get out of town, correct? Millie Mo says, yes, but she's dumb because she didn't know that you cannot leave town on a show horse. You can only leave by train because basically no one can afford a fleet steed. Sensory surgeon, look closer at Millie's gestures. Every now and then the girl made strange uncoordinated hand movements, as if the info from her brain wasn't reaching her muscles. Something must have been wrong with her head, her hands, or the innervation in her upper limbs. Ask Millie about it. Wawipopo says, I was following your hand movements. Something's wrong with their innervation, isn't there? It shouldn't be so apparent in game, but Millie Mo says, "Don't finish. I had an accident. I was fooling around with a faulty anti-G apron near a walkway and I fell. I lost both my hands. Oh, my condolences." Well, Wawi Popo says, "You are regenerating them now, aren't you? Did you know there's a device called a Viator? It's capable of regrowing them from within." Millie Mo says, "Obviously I know about Viators. It was the first thing they told me about. I can't afford it. They're rubbing stem cells on my stumps. They'll grow back in 6 months, I think," the doc said to find a game with horses that interacting with them, hippotherapy, is curative. Oh, so in this age, they have technology to grow arms back. Very useful. Inquire about Millie's life in Realium. Millie, you've been honest with me so far. Tell me, what do you do when you're not in harvest time, in Realium? Millie Mo looked at me, then at the ground. She cleared her throat. "When I lost my hands, I was told to rest, so I've been sitting alone in my apartment for a few months now. I'm 16. We live low." Oh, low city? Millie Mo continues. "We only have artificial lighting. It's always dark outside. Dad's never home. He works so we can afford the faster regen. He blames himself. We have this old robot, a duster. He dresses me and connects the fluid. I lay on the couch and I'm here where I'm happy." Wait, did she say she's 16 years old? Should I be honest? Should I comfort her? Express sympathy? Emphasize loneliness? Why not comfort her? Wawipopo says, "Sure, you're happy. You found the perfect solution. Out there you're alone in the dark. Here you have sunshine and friends." "And pretzel," says Millie Mo. "Bye, Millie. I'll see you around." Millie gave me a wink. Bye. Bye, Millie Vanilli. Our life is falling leaf taken from its bough by the wind. We can do naught but turn the inevitable plummet into dance. Does anyone have a ticket to the Midnight Express for sale? I'm guessing this is the Outlaw's message, right? Wait, is this the same Mia from Twisted and Perverted? She's wearing a different outfit here. Of course. Mia McPretty says, "Who do we have here? Our favorite twisted player. How fortunate." Maya McPretty says, "We have a few simple questions as a Harvest Time player." Mia McPretty says, "It will only take a moment, unless you're like Benbow." "Don't be like Benbow," the girl scowled. "Who is Benbow?" Ask what the questions are for. What's the point of this interrogation? Maya McPretty says, "We're collecting data. You'll learn more over the course of it." Answer the questions. Okay, go ahead. Maya McPretty says, "Here we go. Question number 1. How long have you been playing Harvest Time? Tell the truth." "Not long, less than a day." Mia McPretty says, "Question number 2. Have you ever been to the graveyard on the hill?" "Hill? Was there a graveyard on the hill?" "Say you have, okay." "Yes, I have." Maya McPretty says, "Alright, listen. Here's question number 3. Have you heard about the Tree of Knowing?" "Yeah, I heard this phrase, Tree of Knowing, before. But I don't remember. Was it from a character or was it from the Codex?" "Say yes." "I've heard something about it." Mia McPretty says, "Another question, focus. Have you ever experienced flashbacks that weren't yours?" Say that you haven't." "Yeah, I haven't." "No, I have not." Maya McPretty says, "Do you ever feel like someone is telling you what to say, as if they've taken over your mind and will?" "No." Say no. "No, not at all. I felt a wave of intense anxiety. A part of me flipped out upon hearing the question and made me say no." Maya McPretty says, "Hey, easy. We're just talking, okay?" Mia McPretty says, "It should go smoothly now. Give me any number that comes to your mind." "All of the numbers are 314. Say the number 314. 314. 304. What? What kind of question is that? What are you trying to drag me into?" Maya McPretty says, "Take it easy. Don't freak out. It's cool." Mia McPretty says, Yeah, thanks. That's all. Your turn. Is there anything you want to ask us?" "Ask about the number 314. What was behind the question about a number? That 314. Does it mean anything?" Maya McPretty says, "Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We're not quite sure, but we're checking it out." Mia McPretty says, "Actually, it's not the first time we've gotten a response like that from an interviewee." Maya shot her look and Mia stopped short. Maya McPretty says, but the fact that you reacted quite oddly to that number may mean something. Ask why they are interested in the Tree of Knowing." "Why are you asking about the Tree of Knowing?" Maya says, "We are collecting info for our clan. It's a top secret mission, you know. So we can't tell you too much." Mia says, "Actually, we don't know how much either. We don't know much either. Haha. If you learn anything, make sure to let us know. Maya says, totally. Come back with some solid info on the tree and you won't regret it. The Han clan knows how to return a favor. Okay, how do I collect intel on the tree of knowing? Who should I ask? Ask about the clan. So how's your clan doing? What was the name? It starts with an H, right? Maya says, oh man, the Han clan. The best orc in the world, with the most profound message, concept, and narrative. It's a riot, dude. Mia says, make sure to drop into Knight's Code. That's where our headquarters are. Jeez, it's so amazing, like everything starts making sense. I'm conducting an investigation and I'm collecting information about the residents. Maya says, you answered our question, so we owe it to you. Who do you mean in particular? Okay, each of the sheriff, Lian, and Outlaw only have... Oh, hold on. The sheriff has 2 more data that needs to be unlocked. Lian only 1. Outlaw only 1. Okay, let's ask about the sheriff. Tell me all you know about the sheriff. Maya says, let me say what everyone says. The sheriff is fast. Maya winked at her friend. Mia says, yeah, you should see him. Sensory celebrity. Wawipopo says, okay, but you know me. My followers would like to know more. Tell me something more about that guy. Maya says, so the sheriff is like incredibly fast, you know. And we found out he's like using this cheat. A speed boost they call it. Just don't tell anyone, please. It's our leverage against him, a safeguard, in case our clan wants something from him in the future. Mia says, and would you believe the sheriff answered 314 too? Funny, huh? Maya scowled at her companion. And that's about it, right, sister? Leave. Howdy, good to see you again, says Maya McPretty. So no more dialogue with them. Alright, where and how can I find intel regarding the Tree of Knowing? The sheriff is cheating. Yeah, he's a cheater, of course. The banker's face still had that same dumb look. I felt a sudden, strong gust of wind. There was the occasional mild breeze in this game, but nothing like this. I was either hallucinating or I had just seen falling dust arrange itself into the outline of a human being. I felt the presence of the invisible stalker they wouldn't let go, chase the ghost. This time I was sure I would catch it. I decided to give another illegal tool a try. Gamedec goggles. The goggles pointed me towards the ghost, but I only had a short while to find it. I had to hurry. I was determined to catch the ghost, so I hurried in the direction suggested by the app. Where is it? I had the game deck. Enter the fight. Or negotiate. Negotiate. Wawipopo says, hey, I don't want to fight, let's talk. Mysterious player says, we'll talk, but first show me what you got. Alright, agree to fight. Just remember that you wanted it. Let that be a lesson for you. Attack. I had to choose an app. They used shurikens again. The enemy answered with pirouette. That was the only way to defend against shurikens. They did well. I was sure my opponent had already chosen an application. Sword slash. It was a classic, as well as fast and focused. Use shield. I protected myself with shield. It stopped enemy signals. It was the perfect defense. I wasn't affected at all. Suddenly my enemy stopped the duel. Mysterious player says, alright Gamedec, I've seen all your tricks now. That's enough. Let's talk. Have her reveal herself. Show yourself. I want to know who I'm talking to. The silhouette is all I can reveal for now. My avatar is somewhere else. I've been following you for a while using a slightly modified Guardian Angel app. Ask why she's following you. Why are you following me? Well, out of sheer detective curiosity. A Gamedec in a game like this, it was worth listening to some of your conversations. I know it's unethical and undignified. Pardon me. It's no excuse, but you wouldn't have answered my questions if I had asked them directly. Ask how long she's been following you. How long have you been following me? Since you were in the graveyard, I thought that unknown remote site would be a good observation spot. So this player knows what I'm investigating, right? Mysterious player says, but this farmer came and then you, then the sheriff, then you again. Quite a lot of traffic for a place that's supposed to be dead. Okay, I get it. You don't trust me and you need to be careful. Let me prove my good intentions and maybe I'll share some information with you. It might help you with your investigation. But I don't mean to force my solution on you too early. After all, I could be wrong, right? Finish your investigation and let's meet to discuss our findings, preferably somewhere private. For example, say in the saloon, in the graveyard, in my bedroom. Mysterious player says, now we have work to do. You can make offers once we're done. Let's meet in the graveyard. Do you remember the way? You need to jump into the well or off the saloon roof. Both methods are fine. I'll see you there. Good luck. The mysterious Gamedec vanished into thin air. A moment later, I received a text file in a private message. I scanned and opened it. The message said, "Dear friend, I learned a lot from our battle today. As a thank you, please accept these enclosed files." The outlaw that the sheriff is after is actually a new skin belonging to one of the Orange Folk farmers. She's a girl named Camellia. I suspected that the outlaw used to work as a farmer for the Orange Folk, but I didn't know her name is Camellia. There was also something else in the file. I'm impressed by what you've managed to accomplish and find out so far. I have a lot to learn from you. I collected this data by listening in on players. You might find it useful. The message ended with a note. I'd love to speak with you about this case. Remember the graveyard. I'll wait for you there. Alright, the new objective is called Meet the Gamedec in the graveyard. So I'm speaking to another Gamedec, a fellow Gamedec. What is this Gamedec investigating, I wonder? Collect intel on the Tree of Knowing. How can I do that? Handy Joe says, what a beautiful day. Cowboys all around. They come to Handy for advice. Heed it now so you won't ask twice. Can you show me the list of new players in High Rock? Your ambition shames me, cowboy. Dozens of players enter every day. I could start listing their nicks, but that would take... Alright, I get it. Narrow it down to premium players who started playing in the last 4 days. Now you're talking, narrowing down. And voila, here's our result, 2 players. Wawipopo and Outlaw. I dare say the former is you. Alright? Alright, so I get all the data about the Outlaw. Yeah, I think she's a victim of the farming operation. Oh. Alright, so I already get all the data about the sheriff. What about Leanne? One more data for Leanne. How can I find this one data? Dr. Thaddeus Oakley. The man was standing still. A window with stock market news was hovering in front of him. He was level 1000, which is the max level in the game. There was a title next to his name, Doctor. When I greeted him, the man looked at me, nodded, and went back to his diagrams. I see that you follow the stock market. What's worth investing in? Dr. Oakley says, don't ask. Every investor will say something different, and some will charge you for it. Traders flirt with disaster and crowd psychology. As far as my investments are concerned, it's no secret. Most of my portfolio consists of Blue Whale's interactive stocks. But BWI's rate has been falling recently. It might have something to do with this project. They didn't finish on time. One of the directors had a breakdown. Personal issue. I think something happened to his son. He took the project and my stocks down with him. Yeah, Geoffrey Haggis. I made a mistake. When the jester gave me a choice to leave or to stay, I chose leave because I thought by leaving I would protect the Haggis' reputation. But it turns out that if I leave the Virtualium, I ended the investigation prematurely. And then the TV news talked about the death of Fredo Haggis. I failed to save him. Shit. Wawipopo says, it seems that investing in stocks really is like tossing a coin. I notice a doctor's title next to your name. Do you serve as the local physician? Dr. Oakley says, "Give me a break, I'm not a doctor. I paid a small fortune for this title. I also have one in Realium, PhD. Wasn't cheap either. Wait, he bought his real-life title?" Dr. Oakley says, "When players see my title, they flock like vultures to beg for money, like this gal here, Leanne. Pretty name, that's why I remembered it. Yeah, she's looking for sponsors for her Nanette Foundation, right?" Dr. Oakley says, "In places such as High Rock, a title is more of an inconvenience, but in more prestigious locations, it commands respect. Scalpel, admit you're a doctor." "It so happens that I'm a doctor," says Wawi Popo. Dr. Oakley says, "Unlike me, I have the title and a diploma in Realium, but I bought them both for a small fortune. They come in handy in business. Since you're a doctor, you should go and talk to this Lian girl. She's looking for sponsors for a children's charity or something. If you don't have the money, at least give her some advice. I obviously support this kind of initiatives, but only through tax relief." "What do you do in High Rock? I thought it was a place for beginners." Dr. Oakley says, "Where I should be is Monumental Valley, a super premium location, in case you didn't know. I came here by accident and I want to get out. I'm waiting for the Midnight Express. It's the only way to leave this place. They blocked the road so that new players wouldn't get lost. They should add paid teleportation to the game. I'll suggest it to the devs." Wawi Popo says, "I'm curious, what do you do in Realium?" Dr. Oakley says, Dr. Oakley looked at me suspiciously. "Why, you're a journalist or something?" "I'm an infotainer. I like to meet new people and introduce them to my viewers." Dr. Oakley says, "I have nothing against networking, especially in Virtualia. It helps with business." "I'm a biz patron. I offer advice and assets to businessmen in exchange for shares. I work in harvest time. It's way nicer than Viper." Dr. Oakley looked at me conspiratorially. "And way safer, though not many people know that. Should I demand money? Should I demand money?" "Alright, Doc, quit fucking around. I know you're loaded. Give me your pouch or..." "Or what?" says Dr. Oakley. "There's no PvP in this game anymore. Fuck off to my ignore list, shithead." "Oh no, I made a mistake. You know what? I shouldn't use that special dialogue called sleeves. That special dialogue fucking sucks." Alright, I have all the required information for all three characters. I can make my deduction now, but how do I find information about the Tree of Knowing? And I need to give the Outlaw a ticket for the Midnight Express, but how can I do that? Collect intel on the Tree of Knowing. Where can I do that? Tree of Knowing, where is that? How can I acquire such info? Maybe in the saloon? Ah, there's nothing here. Oh, Bartender Hickok. Oh, nothing. Alright. Guy Sullivan says, "Oh, please stay. Maybe I'll get lucky again if you're here." Wawi Popo says, "Guy, do you still have that ticket you dug out in front of me? I'd like to buy it from you." Guy Sullivan says, "Oh, listen, I know that you came here to help us, but I can't sell you this ticket. I'll just give it to you there." "Oh, thank you, Guy Sullivan." Guy handed me a piece of paper that shone with gold. "You helped me sell my loot and brought me so much luck that it would be unfair not to give it to you, wouldn't it?" Alright, let's give this ticket to the outlaw. Oh, now I know what happened. Before, these farms have some kind of barrier. When I tried to hack the barrier suddenly disappeared, and I heard a feminine laugh. Maybe it was the work of the Gamedec, the ghost that's been chasing me. Maybe it was her who helped me break down these barriers on the farm. Ah, interesting. Ak Thompson says, "Howdy, Gamedec. So I've heard you're working for the sheriff. Good call. The law has to be respected. I understand that you're chasing an outlaw, and you'd like to question my people. That's problematic. You'd take too much of their time. I don't know if the sheriff mentioned this, but the outlaw is Camelia's new character. She should be working here on the farm. Well, good luck and good day to you." Alright, I already know that. But now I need to find info about the Tree of Knowing. How can I do that? The Tree of Knowing. How can I find such info about the Tree of Knowing? I've talked to every character possible in High Rock. Who else I can talk to get the info about the Tree of Knowing? Should I go back to my private farm? It's a milk can. Oh, I love cans. The smell of crude aluminum, the taste of fresh milk, drunk straight from the container. What about your milk, wild puppy? I bet it tastes delicious. Come back when you get more chests. Alright. Wait, I just realized. Wild Poppy is wearing shorts? I thought she's wearing pants. I didn't know. I didn't notice she's wearing shorts. Or maybe it's pants. I think it's pants, not shorts, right? I'm not sure. The outlaw smiled hesitantly. Speak, then ask. Wawipopo says, here, a ticket for the Midnight Express, it's yours. Outlaw says, gosh, you weren't lying. I mean, you did it. I'm so glad, thank you. Wawipopo says, the sheriff could stage an ambush. I'll help you get to the station. Alright, let's meet here at Sundown. What? So I can either meet the sheriff or the outlaw at Sundown. I can make deductions now, but I want to collect intel on the Tree of Knowing. How can I do that? Shit. I'll see you at Sundown. How can I do that? Where should I go and what should I do to collect intel on the Tree of Knowing? Who in this place might know something about the Tree of Knowing? Handy Joe? I doubt it. Maybe Dr. Thaddeus Oakley? No, there was no such options. Maybe I'm not supposed to find the intel here. Maybe I should go somewhere else. Hello again, buy some fruit. Yeah, I never buy any of the fruit. Okay, what is the most expensive one? Inspect a rambutan. Buy the fruit. I handed the fruit to the saleswoman. I'd like to buy this one. The woman put the fruit in a paper bag and a small sum left my account. Thank you. Okay, what good are these fruits? Quit shopping. Inspect a tamarillo. The fruit looked like a strange tomato. Pretty Betty winked at me knowingly. Currently, I don't have any rare wares to offer. Yeah, there's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to go but to go to the graveyard to meet the Gamedec, my fellow Gamedec. I am at my wit's end. I don't think I can find anything about the Tree of Knowing in this place. So let's make some deductions, yeah? Wait, I can unlock Re-Educator? What is this? You've learned to survive on the gangways the hard way. Your experience, combined with knowledge of the law, serves you as a powerful weapon. Not only can you break someone's jaw, but by referring to certain regulations, you can just as efficiently intimidate, convince them, that is. Admin, cracker, programmer, street hound. I'll just save my points for now. Let's make a deduction. Who is the sheriff? A cheater. I suspect the sheriff is a cheater. He lies, manipulates, and schemes, but I doubt he could be blamed for what happens with the orange folk. Alright, now, the Outlaw. I suspect the Outlaw is the real victim here, a person that hides in a game instead of logging out and disappearing in Realium, can't be guilty of anything. Now Liane, a naive optimist with a will to change the world. I don't think she's a mother, because she never mentioned her child, and no one ever mentioned her being a mother, I think. Wait, the description on the mother option fits the info about her. It mentions the foundation. Oh, wait. Bill Beck for... Okay, no. So far, I haven't come across any information that makes me think that Liane is a mother. Okay, what is a Bill Beck? Is this... Okay. While playing this game, I came across the term BLB. Is Bill Beck a BLB? Let's consult the codex. Alright, what is Viper? Viper was being mentioned. The name is a portmanteau of virtual presence. Viper generates a simplified virtual environment that can be used instead of telesense calls. During a Viper call, the users meet via virtual reality to speak without witnesses. Unlike calls made via net menus or game chats, Viper call guarantees privacy. In order to make a Viper call, the user needs a special chair that works as a temporary virtual couch and helmet combined. So it's okay, so it's secure. I know about sensing, where you can communicate not only visual and audio, but also smell. Alright, what is Chi Tong? I came across the term Chi Tong before. What is Chi Tong? The most popular programming language based on ideograms resembling kanji characters. Ah, I see. Chi Tong is not linear, but rather a three-dimensional writing system. The programmers that use this language enter a virtual space where they see nodes and connectors that create a mind map or neural network. The nodes and connectors both consist of Chi Tong characters. The nodes are shaped like spheres. When the programmer gets inside one or near its border, they can grab a Chi Tong character, which constitutes a node's brick, and open the drawer of characters hidden behind it, a so-called tail. The brick-like characters can also create logical sequences called supertails. The connectors are shaped like pipes and also consist of brick drawers that store conditions and variables. The Chi Tong writing system has as many opponents as it has supporters. While the first group accuses it of a high entry threshold, the other emphasizes how intuitive it is, and that once the developer lays the foundation for their program, artificial intelligence helps them find bugs and refine their code. Multisensory Encyclopedia, 33rd edition. Alright, I do not understand, I do not comprehend this Chi Tong explanation. I know it's a programming language, But all this term about tail, super tail, grab, brake, I don't understand them at all. My mind is simple, I'm a simpleton. Alright, I have an idea what Infolia is. A new mobile. A flying passenger vehicle. The name is derived from the Greek word pneuma, meaning air or breath, and the Latin word mobilis, meaning mobile. The first machines, as well as the term new mobile, were introduced in the 2080s by the Mobilenium Company, whose directors wanted the new vehicle to have the word mobile in its name. The introduction of flying passenger vehicles was made possible thanks to Anti-Chi technology, the patent for which is kept secret by Mobilenium. Anti-Chi technology, anti-gravity, was developed by the Mobilenium conglomerate in the mid-70s of the last century. The principles of its operation are a company secret. The official description claims that the technology creates a thin layer of the fourth dimension. Some skeptics take that explanation with a grain of salt. All attempts to open anti-Chi generators by unauthorized personnel are immediately reported to the company and end terribly. The devices are installed automatically, and the secret of breaking the graviton hegemony is only known by a handful of specialists hired by Mobilenium. So only Mobilenium can produce the new mobile. Wow. Alright. All attempts to open anti-Chi generators by unauthorized personnel are immediately reported to the company and end terribly. What does it mean by end terribly? Arrest or assassination? So I can't even open my own car's parts? That's bullshit. Alright, I'm not even allowed to tinker with my own car. Alright, that's all I want to know. Oh yeah, one more thing. What was that term? Oh yeah, bill back. Bill back. Do I have any entry about bill back? No, no bill back. Okay, maybe Realium. Okay, no bill back. All right. Okay, I forgot about Novatronics. Are they the ones who create androids? I forgot. Oh no, I was wrong. Oh no, I was right, but not really accurate. They create mobriums and Randan's digital brain. Diginets can be given a body in Realium. The bodies are called mobriums. Not only Diginets, but Zoinets, humans who live in the Virtualium without their body. I mean, no. Wrong explanation. So Zoe nets are people who live in the virtualia permanently. Ma'am, I assume some of these people have a coma, right? Or whatever. Yeah, so both DigiNets and ZoeNets can do activity in the realium if they have mobriums. So far, I only met one ZoeNet. I forget his name. It's Zepranaptor or something like that. So no entry in the codex about Bill Beck. Fine. Alright. Oh yeah, Leanne. Hold on. Maybe I should check the codex for Leanne. Alright. Nanette's conversation with Lepsky, aka Sheriff, right? The recording is missing the first 5 seconds of the conversation. Replaying the beginning is not possible. Actually, I thought we would finally meet in Realium too. Oh, Realium, Miss Doucette. Haven't people wasted enough time on meeting in person to fulfill formalities? Alright, so the first sentence is from Nanette, I assume. Yeah, of course, Nanette Doucette. Nanette replied, true, isn't it? To meet, we would both have to get from A to B, find parking, make our way to an establishment that provided suitable safeguards so that no one could spy on our business using a drone or a camera. You're right. Of course I am, my dear Miss Doucette. Viper gives a 100% guarantee that no one will eavesdrop on us or pry into our business. Not that we have anything to hide. Of course not, and I assure you, there's no reason to be ashamed that your clinic is still not doing very well. That's why I wanted you to take over the Nanette's Gardens program in harvest time. Trust me, I'd be happy to. You will take good care of it, won't you? Absolutely, ma'am. Your children will be taken care of and provided with progress-stimulating exercises, just like they have been. Couldn't we still meet in I'll be honest, Miss Doucette. As I can see, this thing keeps coming back like an advertising drone in Low City. I'm a disfigured man. Oh, I use a prosthetic face. But that's what regenerative medicine is for. Not for everyone, dear Miss Doucette. My DNA doesn't take kindly to that sort of procedure. What about cleansing? I still cannot afford it, but I treat the defect as a learning experience. It shows me what pain is, and it makes me want to help others. Mr. Levsky, I really feel for you, but it's rather strange that we never... Don't you have enough to worry about with the cancer hospital? Yes, the hospital is sick, like my patients. That's why I have dedicated myself to it and the gardens. Let me help you. Why don't you leave Nanette's Gardens to me? You can get a break and I can do what I'm addicted to be honest, which is helping others. You realize it's a sort of addiction. Oh yes, I'm sending you the documents. I just need your IN and that's it. Oh, I'll take care of the kids and the gardens and you can focus on your hospital. Get some rest, Miss Doucette. The conversation continues for another 10 minutes and 14 seconds. Playback of the remaining part of the conversation is not possible. Alright, now I know what's going on. So, Nanette with her Nanette Foundation is using Harvest Time, is using the game Harvest Time as some kind of a rehabilitation program for the kids that the foundation is looking after. Mr. Lapsky, aka the sheriff, offers to handle the Nanette Foundation, the Nanette's Gardens. He gave a reasoning that he can do better with the gardens, and also it will give Nanette more time to spend on her cancer hospital. But what actually happened is, in my opinion, Mr. Lapsky, aka the sheriff, is using the Nanette's Gardens and the children to work them in the game. He uses them as farmers to farm items, to farm gold, and I assume these things can be translated to real-life profit. So Mr. Lapsky has taken over the garden, and unbeknownst to Nanette Doucet, Lapsky is running the garden as a sweatshop, and the kids are working for him. And Mr. Lapsky claimed that it's part of the program. Yeah, it is, but I don't think what Lapsky is doing is the same with what Nanette was doing with this program. Alright, let's make a deduction. So, no mention about Nanette being a mother, right? Right? Yeah, no mention about her being a mother. So, I'm not going to choose mother. I'm going to choose this one, a naive optimist with a will to change the world. Nanette knows about the conditions of people living in Low City. She grew up there. She created the foundation to help others advance in society. This one. Okay, we've made all the deductions. Now what we should do is who is responsible for the Orange Folks issue? Alright, I need to gather more information to unlock this path. Okay, how can I collect more information? Maybe I should meet the Gamedec in the graveyard, right? Or, alright, hold on. Do I unlock new conversations with the characters in this game? Let me find out. For example, let's talk to Rusty Ed. Will he say some... Oh, hold on. Is this new? Alright, no new dialogue with Rusty Ed, and I assume there are no new dialogues with the other characters. Let me check Fruity Betty. Yeah, no new dialogue options. So what I'm going to do now is to go to the graveyard and meet with the Gamedec who's been following me as a ghost or invisible. However, I have 3 more datas that I don't have. How can I acquire these 3 datas here, this unknown data? Yeah, I need to gather more information to unlock this path. Alright, what can I do now to collect the new datas? Do I speak to the farmers again? The orange folk. What about Ack Thompson? Okay, no, nothing more. Alright, let's go to the graveyard and meet this Gamedec. Alright, just want to make sure. Let me check one more time. With maybe, I don't know. Okay, with Mia and Maya. Nothing. Yeah, they want me to collect intel about the Tree of Knowing. Alright, nothing else. Let's go to the graveyard, yeah? Wait, I can't go to the graveyard? Hold on. Why? I thought I have an objective to meet the Gamedec in the graveyard. Why can't I go there? What? Is this a bug in the game? Is my progress being blocked? What should I do? I can't go to the graveyard. What the heck? What is going on here? Maybe I must make a deduction on this one. But I still need 3 more datas to have all the path unlocked, I mean. Alright, how can I gather these 3 datas? No one I talk to right now give me new dialogue options. And I can't go back to the graveyard. What the fuck? Oh, maybe I should meet the outlaw at Sundown. How can I make it a Sundown then? I'll see you at sundown. Okay, how can I make it to sundown? Wait, should I go back to the graveyard? Maybe I should make a deduction. But I don't want to make a deduction. I still have. I don't have enough data to make my deduction. There is still one path that is locked, and I need more data to unlock it. What? Okay, what should I do? I'm at my wit's end here. Alright, the game deck told me I can reach the graveyard either from the rooftop or from the second floor of the saloon. But how can I reach the second floor of the saloon? Someone is blocking the path. The staircase. Wait, what? Oh, I can talk now. Shit, this is new. I just noticed this now, alright. Voila. The women were involved in a lively conversation and didn't grace me with a glance. Listen to their conversation. I stood aside and listened. Do you honestly think it was there, in the graveyard? The legend grew on collapse, that's why there's snow. The cosmic tree Axis Mundi, the tree of good and evil. The symbol is present in every culture. The Vikings, Australian tribes, Christian, Slavic myths is everywhere. According to these beliefs, there's a spot where time stops along the tree's axis around its trunk. It allows you to connect with the past and the future. For the Australian Arrente people, the space into the world and organized reality. Alright, so the tree of knowing, or the tree of good and evil, as these women say, is called Axis Mundi. Strangely enough, Axis Mundi is the password that Geoffrey Haggis used for his computer. I see. So okay, Maya and Mia are from the Han clan, and they want to know about the Axis Mundi. Geoffrey Haggis has the name as a password for his computer. So, are Geoffrey Haggis and the Han clan connected? Maybe Geoffrey Haggis is a member of the Han clan, right? Because in his office room, I noticed on the floor there is a symbol that looks like a tree with branches. And back in the twisted and perverted game world, I found a dagger with the symbol of a tree with branches. And my protagonist took it as a symbol for the clan, the Han clan. Yeah, now, oh yeah, I think Geoffrey Haggis is a member of the Hun clan. Alright, the women kept talking, ignoring my presence. Interrupt. I'm sorry, could I? The women kept talking without paying any attention to me. The women kept talking, ignoring my presence. Stop the conversation. I'm sorry, could I? One of the women looked at me haughtily, sized me up, and made some gestures in the game's menu. I noticed a message. Ah shit, objective failed? I don't like this. I have been robbed. Sorry. I'm safe scumming. The Tree of Knowing. Overheard conversation. Alright, hold on. Let me skim this, yeah? Let me skim this tree of knowing. Okay, time stops on the tree's axis. It lets you connect with the past and the future. For the Australian RNT people, the cosmic axis is a pillar that transforms unknown space into a world, an ordered reality. Okay, one of the women, I think, suggests that the tree of knowing represents the human nervous system. Alright, the tree of knowing is the human nervous system. It generates past, present, and future. A place that generates the image of reality. Alright, the cosmic tree appears in different places across different games, not only in harvest time. Interesting. Okay, so if I try to interrupt the women, I will fail my objective, right? If I interrupt the women will put me on ignore list, and my objective to collect intel on the tree of knowing failed. That means these two women, I need to do something to them in order to extract more information, but what? What should I do? Oh. I remember someone mentioned the name Benbow. I forgot, was it Mia and Maya who mentioned the name Benbow? Or was it Millie Mo? I forget. Anyway, let's talk to this guy. The cowboy snapped his fingers against the brim of his hat. Howdy. Yeah, this guy wasn't here before. This guy is new. Wawipopo says, plenty of work. Benbow says, plenty of bundles to stack. I'm taking a breather right now and then it's back to work. You have a curious name, Benbow. Everybody keeps asking me about that. That name's from Realium. That is, my name is Benjamin Bombadil, but everybody calls me Ben. Wait, Bombadil? Isn't that a character from the Lord of the Rings? Benbow says, years ago, when I was making my Harvest Time character, I accepted the name Bow by accident, before I managed to type it out properly. Back then you couldn't pay for a name change, and in that time the name Benbow stuck. These days even folks in Realium call me by it. Alright, gotta get back to work. If you want to talk, wait until I finish my stacking. Alright, Wait until I finish stacking this hay. I'll come back here for a bit of a breather then. Should I use scalpel or should I use infotainer? Maybe I should use scalpel, right? Or infotainer. Let's use infotainer. We have this saying in the journalism business, just one more question. Hey hey, how about it, Ben? Benbow says, fine, one more, but make it quick. Can you help me with something? I'm gathering information on certain residents in High Rock. Benbow says, sure can. I don't know many people, but you hear all kinds of rumors. You know how it is. So, who you are interested in? Mine though, if anyone asks. You didn't hear it from me. Just a passing wind whispered something in your ear, right? Alright, who should I find out more about? Leanne or Sheriff? Maybe the Sheriff, right? What do you know about the Sheriff? Benbow says, I'll tell you what everyone knows. No player's faster than Billy. He's been Sheriff for this long, 'cause no one can beat him in a duel. And you'll ask, does he use cheats to win? I've no idea. But it doesn't matter, because he is a good Sheriff, the best we've ever had. Time to stack another bundle. Alright, use scalpel. Suggest resting longer. You should rest more, Ben. Carrying all these bundles around could strain your spine. Benbow says, seriously? In a game? But you're right. I do feel sore sometimes when I get up from the couch. Rest it is then. Alright, there is no entry for the Sheriff in the Codex. Should I find more about the Outlaw? Camellia, right? The Outlaw. What do you know about the Outlaw? Benbow says, unfortunately, nothing. It's some new player. Showed up a few days ago and got to a high level in no time. Are they alone or running with a group? Don't know, don't care. It doesn't affect my game and I get to keep stacking my bundles in peace, that is. Well, breaks over. Offer assistance. I could help you carry these bundles. Benbow says, are you serious? You don't have anything else to do? I have to carry them myself or it might not count towards my achievement. Better not risk it. I should have used the sleeves option. Fuck. Alright. Should I make should I make a deduction now, or should I try to explore more? Maybe there's something new I don't know about yet. Oh yeah, maybe I should speak to Mia and Maya. Where is Mia and Maya? They usually patrol around here. Ah, there they are. Maya and Mia. Howdy, howdy. Good to see you again. I heard the tree was here in harvest time. It sparked player interest. They are discussing what it means, what it was made for. Mia says, keep going, I'm getting all of this down. Wawipopo says, from what I know, the location where it appeared is now closed. It's a graveyard. Maya says, nice. This seems to confirm our theories. Now tell us honestly, what do you think the tree is? Admit you don't know. Honestly, I have no opinion on that. It's an artifact present in a few games, so it could be anything or nothing, but it is interesting. Maya says, you're a cool guy, you know? How can we repay you? Future favor, of course. No problem. If I need anything, I'll let you know in the future. Maya says, unless you ask for something I have but don't know about yet, it's a deal, you know? I hate gray areas like that. Welcome back, cowboy, says Mia. Alright, so the objective to collect intel about the Tree of Knowing has disappeared. So it's done. Alright, this data says all leads suggest that the outlaw is responsible for the problems in harvest time. Yeah, I remember the outlaw says that she 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 used to she implied that she used to work in the farms, but then she got away, right? So it makes sense. Stanley says there are the orange folk kept getting disconnected from the game. So assuming Camellia or the outlaw wants to stop doing what they're doing in the farms, then it makes sense if she did something to mess with the connection of the orange folk so they don't get to log in. That means she also didn't get to log in to do whatever it is they were doing in the farms, right? So this data makes sense, but I'm not ready. Who is responsible for the orange folks issue? Alright, this question is too broad. What does it mean by orange folks issue? The issue of the orange folks being children, amped up on drugs and stimulants, or the issue regarding the disconnections? If it's the latter, I would choose the outlaw. If it's the former, I would choose the sheriff. This question is too broad. Oh shit, what should I do now? Alright, what is the main problem of my clients, meaning Stanley, right? On behalf of the Orange Folk. Someone else is pulling the strings. So, if I have to work from this, then the only thing that makes sense is to choose the sheriff. Because the sheriff is the main problem of the Orange Folk, I think. Work on those farms is just too well organized. Something bigger is going on here. Yep, if I have to go from this deduction, then it has to end with this, the sheriff. But I'm still not sure because this data here says all leads suggest that the outlaw is the responsible one for the problems in harvest time. I'm not sure about that. Ah shit, if only I can get 2 more data. How can I do that? Alright, hold on. I'm going to take a break, about 5 minutes maybe, starting from now.